little dog.
I can do it. Wonder Wheel. I don't want to go through life being a Wonder Wheel murderer.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to another Thursday Collectible Past, talking about some of the toys that we have added to our collection and the fun and the joy that they bring us based on the franchises that many of us grew up enjoying. And of course, we are joined as always by an all-star panel. Of course, we got Vinnie Art right here. My pigga, what's up?
What's up, man? Yeah, dude. Looking forward to talking about some figures. I got a couple of cool ones to show tonight. And how's everyone doing here?
Everybody should be doing as well as they should be doing, but let's go around the board and find out how everybody else on the panel is doing. Also, we got a pigga in training. We got Trina with us. What's going on, Trina?
Not much. Happy to be here. Looking forward to this toy stream with you guys.
Awesome. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. And of course, we got the wiener dog, the man in charge of the pound. We got Adam, old hillbilly pop Cyclops with us. What's going on?
We're here to have some fun with you guys and talk some toys. That's what we love to do.
Yeah, man, absolutely. If you're not having a little bit of fun, then what the hell are you doing with your life? Jesus, get out there and have a little bit of fun, people. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom all the time. And of course, going to say hello to the chat. Chaos Hoy was the first one that popped in. What's going on, Chaos Hoy? Asking about how the pigs are doing. The pigs are getting along. Hopefully all this medication, and Jesus, today got Cringer on a lot of medication. Hopefully all this stuff pays off, but he was running around making a nuisance of himself. Basically, he was taking me for a walk at one point. So I'm walking alongside him, and he's walking alongside the couch. And he turns around and he starts walking around by the shoe rack on the opposite wall. And I'm near the couch walking alongside him. He stops, walks behind me, gets on the other side of the couch and nudges at my foot so I move over so he could walk alongside the couch with me. Like, that's Cringer. He is a weirdo. But Chaos, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for asking about the pigs. Trina in the chat as well as on the panel. Thank you, Trina. Bad Take Bojan is in the house. What's up, dude? I hope that you were doing well. Disney Sheep Herder in the house. What's up, man? I hope that you're doing well. Thanks for stopping in. We also got Curtis YZ. What's up, dude, man? I hope that you were doing well. Always a pleasure to see Curtis. Yeah, madness. This is Sparta. This is Pigtown, and we're getting ready to get down. So I'm going to go ahead and let's continue with the kind of shit that I was doing on Monday, where I was transforming and rolling out for the entire 3-hour plus stream. Guys, you haven't stopped by for that. Go ahead and check that one out. I mean, it was a blast to do that one, talking about a lot of old G1 stuff and having a lot of fun. And all the people that stopped by on that panel, I knew Vinnie was there, Trina stopped in. Adam was there, and Pacific 414 was there as well. We were having a blast talking about these things. I always have fun talking about a lot of the old school G1 Transformers. Yeah, there it is. Adam had his picture up in there showing off a lot of his goodies.
Hell yeah.
And always appreciate that. I mean, it's always nice to see other people that appreciate that franchise for what it should be and what it was, and not for the crap that they were trying to make it. But like, I think Hasbro may have seen the error of their ways, but Hasbro, you are still a bunch of fuck ups. So I'm going to start this one off, and I had to break this down to 3 segments, and just to kind of give you a little bit of a pre-warning on this one. So this video that I was working on for this set that I'm about to show off, I wound up running it for over 12 plus minutes for this damn review. And I don't do a whole lot of toy videos that are over 12 minutes. This just telling you how much I had to complain about elements of these damn figures, that it took me 12 minutes to get through this damn thing. And I had actually cut it down so it was 12 minutes. Then I turned around and I cut it down even further. And even as I cut it down even further for the show, it still wound up being 3 clips in damn near 9 minutes. So we're going to get into, and this is another one. It's one of the things where they're leaning back into the G1 with Hasbro, and they're kind of giving some of the real fans what they want to see. But there are things that they fucked up, and it just drove me absolutely insane. And it might even be part of the reason why I have a headache right now. So let's go ahead and get into it.
More than meets the eye.
Hey guys, what's going on? And here we are, Cliff Jumper, the Transformers pig. And of course, you know what that means. It's Transformers time again. Got this one. I've been staying away from a lot of stuff Hasbro has been doing, but they do seem to be going back into the G1 stuff. And as long as they can keep the agenda-driven nonsense out of what they're doing, they may actually find a way to get me back on board buying normally. But once again, we will just have to see what they're going to do. But from the buzzworthy Bumblebee line, we've got Transformers the movie 1986. We've got Ironhide and Prowl in their damaged form from the Decepticons when they came jumping on board that ship. This one looks pretty cool. I don't even know if it's absolutely necessary. They did do a little bit of mold changing to the chest plate of Prowl and Ironhide, but most of this looks like the old mold, so we're going to have to get it out and take a look at it. Hopefully they've done a little bit more than just the chest applications. And here we go with Ironhide, and right behind him with Prowl. They don't look half bad. I think they look a little bit too much on the clean side for a couple of bots that were just in a big giant battle and absolutely got obliterated. So they do have this piece that's a little bit different on the molding for Prowl, and they do have a little bit of paint work. He does have a different face, so he's got that oh shit face, like when he gets killed in the 86 movie. I almost kind of wish they would have changed the color of his eyes too to symbolize him dying, but I guess they didn't want to do that. That might have been too much. Other than that, there is really no change in the paint applications, and everything looks uber clean on this. I kind of don't like that in a way. I kind of wish they would have did a little bit more damage paint on him. And here we have Ironhide. So a different face once again, kind of like that shocked expression face on him, and the damaged chest plate. Beyond that, there is no other paint applications on this to symbolize that he was in a fight at all. I think that's just a little bit of a letdown. They should have done a little bit more with this.
No! Such heroic nonsense.
So yeah, so that's my first gripe starting this one off. Now there is one thing that I kind of missed. So on the Prowl chest mode, they did new front chest modes for both of those spots, and on the headlight section, they do have kind of cracks running in the plastic of which should be the headlights, but they didn't bother filling it in with any paintwork so you could really see it. Because otherwise, if you just look at it, you probably won't even notice the cracks that are supposed to be in the headlights. I think that's a big giant miss. I think just putting one little mark on the side of his chest with some of the metal hanging out, and why would the metal be protruding out of his chest if he got shot in his chest? It would have been sunk in, not pushed out. That was my other complaint. And then, of course, not doing any other kind of paint applications on this figure. Right there was the initial stages of me getting ready to go into a fit.
Yeah. Well, they went lazy, man. It's, again, put a little extra effort in there. Like you said, they went through, went through a war essentially, and then, they get killed. So why would you have them that clean? And like you said, that chest thing would piss me off too. Blow a hole in it, cave it in a little bit somehow.
Well, I mean, they did it with Ironhide. I mean, they had one section on the left-hand side of his chest, which was the last shot that Starscream took with Megatron, where it really impacted his chest in the movie. And that one is dug in a little bit deeper. That's fine. That's fine, but why not put some extra markings around his shoulders and everything else, Or like I said with Prowl, with the color of his eyes, when he dies in the movie, his eyes kind of turn like that reddish orange or whatever. Why not just put that color in there instead of the blue? You already got him with already got him with the oh shit face. I just had an orgasm. Why not give him the red colored eyes too?
Clearly, it wasn't shot with the special Biden ammo that blows the lungs out.
That was a Yahtzee thing. The Yahtzees created it.
Maybe they shot him with that special gender affirming care ammo or something. That's why something protruded. Yeah, you know what? I wonder sometimes. I mean, when I first seen this, I was like, okay, that looks cool, because I've seen some of the other things they were doing, like the Orion Pax and the Alpha Trion. They were doing Dion and his girl Ariel before she gets turned into a leader one. They were leaning in that direction, and there was a lot of things that signified that maybe they're heading in the right direction. When I heard that they were releasing these, they were releasing 86 movie ones with some damage, battle damage from Decepticon Ambush. I was like, okay. Initial pictures didn't look bad. Maybe it'll look a lot better once you get in person. Yeah, no, it was actually, as I get into this, I find it was much worse. I was getting so, you'll wind up seeing it. Yeah. Hasbro crack kills.
Right. Hey, Frank.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I will say hi to everybody else in a second.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
But what's going on, Frankie? Frankie's in the house. Time Prophet is also in the house. Of course, Keely Chow stopped in as well. And you know what? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I just getting started on this one. You can already see I'm getting ready to lose it. Time Prophet. Wonder why Hasbro didn't do a My Little Pony Transformer crossover. They did in the comics. And against my will, I got that first episode or first comic, and it was even worse than I thought. It was the most ridiculous piece of shit that I'd ever seen in my life. Good God. And the guy at the comic store, he gave me a discount too. He says, I can't sell these stupid things. They're just sitting there fucking like collecting dust on the shelf. And I said, I can't imagine why. They're so well written. But let's get through this. As I get through the review, I start losing more and more of my damn mind.
Here we go with Ironhide with both of his gun. And, of course, we got Prowl as well with his gun, showing a little bit of the articulation in these ones, and they do have a ton of articulation. I will say that was one of the things that they did right with a lot of the Earthrise, Siege, and, of course, the Kingdom figures. They did have a ton of articulation, and they didn't skip and ruin anything in that when they did these remolds. Also come with these really cool blast effects, and of course showing off a little bit more of that articulation. Got Prowl in a big wide stance, leaning way back, looking up in the air, firing down on incoming Decepticons. And of course we got Ironhide with a couple of blast effects in a full kneeling position, taking some shots while he's down on the ground. I kind of wish they had given you one more of these big long blast effects. They didn't, so unfortunately you kind of get one gun firing and the other one looks like it's beginning to fire. They could have threw that in, especially for the price tag on this one, because this box set is, I think it was damn near either $50 or $60 for this set. And here we go. We're going to have one more discussion about these blast effects. Even though Hasbro has done a lot to pay attention to detail on a lot of these figures, they absolutely fucked it up again. Why? Because if you look at these blast effects, and I said they should have included another longer blast with these, they did get one critical thing wrong on this one. The blast effect color is all wrong for the Autobots. It should not have been purple. Because as you seen with the clip right there, the Decepticon blasts were done in purple, the Autobots were done in an orangey yellowish color. This was done on purpose by the creators of the film to really distinguish the Autobots and Decepticons even further by the way that their weapons fire. How do you screw that up when it's your own franchise? Seriously, Hasbro, for everything you do right, you do stupid shit like this and just fuck it up. Because once again, even though you pay attention to some of the details, you don't pay attention to all of them. And one last thing, Ironhide. Ironhide has his extra gun. So this extra gun is sitting down here. While it's nice to have extra weapons, Ironhide never used a second gun. Especially in the 86 movie, that was Ratchet.
Wow. I was like yelling at the screen when I saw that last color. I'm like, nope.
Like I said, as I go on, at first I'm talking about the articulate. Well, hold on real quick. What's going on? Tim's Talk is in the house. What's up, Tim?
What's up?
You're doing well. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. I see Tom Prophet say he's starting to watch Bird Notice. Cool. We hope you enjoy it. T. Hilo 29 is in the house. Good to see you, man. It's good to see you as well, man. I hope that you were doing well. Thanks for being here, Curtis. My tummy is full, but not my appetite for Transformers reviews. I love doing these things when they do it right. And once again, they didn't mess up anything in the way of articulation. I was happy about that. Mm-hmm. I was able to get these guys in some really tremendous poses, like having Prowl lean back that far and shooting his gun. Great. But go ahead, Vinny. I know you want to talk about that blast effect.
Yeah, no, that was really, that pissed me off. That made no sense because they know what color the blast effects are because they did that with the with a couple of other figures like Jetfire. They gave them the proper colors. So why would you do that to the Autobots? Why would you make it purple? I don't know. It's like, do they just assume people are going to repurpose those blast effects for Decepticons? Then don't be cheap. Why don't you release more figures and give them all blast effects? How about that? With the money that they're charging, I don't have either one of those figures. I was gonna get the Earthrise one, but I had the Siege version of what's his face, the red one, Ironhide, and I'm like, well, do I get the 86 one? I look at the price tag. It was like 36 plus tax and everything. Like, no, I'm not spending that much. That's at best a $20 figure, not close to 40. Bullshit, So I never got them. Same deal with Prowl. Like they started jacking up the prices on them. Although I think Prowl was closer to 25. But anyway,
I think he was a little bit cheaper when he first came out. But they also did another version of Prowl who came with Ratchet, I believe it was.
Okay. So
they did like an Earthrise Ratchet who came with Prowl because I don't remember them release Earthrise Ratchet by himself.
Yeah, no, because he was. I think it was for what do you call it? Walgreens exclusive or something.
Yeah. Well, no, the that was the Siege version.
Oh, that was the Siege one.
I'm pretty sure
I have it. Siege. I have it. I don't remember because I don't know where I put them. I forgot where I put them.
Yeah, because they don't really release a whole lot of the Walgreens ones anymore. They're very slim, and it seems like a lot of the toy aisle in Walgreens has shrunk every time I've gone in. So
yeah, they stopped bringing shit in there. But yeah, dude, it's upsetting, dude. It really is. It's like these are cool characters. I would have liked to have gotten them at some point, but if this is the only thing else that's out there of them, it's like, nah, I can't drop money like that. I did something stupid in it. Well, not that stupid, but I did get one of the G.I. Joes that was a little bit more than your standard figure, and I'll be showing them tonight. I got Torpedo, but like I'll show that. But then there's the other one that I got, which I believe our friend in the Netherlands wanted to see. So
awesome.
I'll be reviewing that for tonight as well.
Anybody else want to discuss what they just seen before I get into the last part? Because the last part is when I start flipping out a little. I ain't gonna lie. I start to lose it.
Vehicle modes or even have you more problems?
Oh yeah, wait till I get into it. What's going on, Decepticons, Game Comics, Toys, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. He'll probably enjoy this third part of this review because he hates Autobots, and when I start doing it, he's probably going to enjoy. But anybody want to say anything else before we move on to part 3?
I mean, they looked cool, other than the blaster fire being the wrong color.
Yeah, like the articulation is nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the original molds were really cool, but again, too pricey.
I'll tell you what, and this was a carryover from the Earthrise Prowl. They did an amazing job on the rockers. At first, I thought it was part of his transformation, how far in it rocks. But it doesn't just rock in, it rocks out, too. So you can get him in a vast array of movement with that rocking ankle. And, of course, the transformation aspects, it goes back and forward a little bit as well. So it gives so much range of movement in the pivot in the ankles for a Prowl. It's just fantastic. And Ironhide's not much different. He has almost the exact same amount of movement on his rockers for his feet as too. Just absolutely fantastic. They did that. And like all the other movement that was already there is carried over. But when I start getting into some more of this stuff, like showing off, I don't show all the, how should I say, the breakdown of the movement in the figure, but limbs start popping off. And I start getting really frustrated. Yeah, like the legs just start popping off. A Prowl's hips, just the whole hip section keeps popping off. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Wow.
I might have included those short parts of the clip just to signify how mad I was getting, but you can hear it as I start losing my mind.
Yeah, I believe it.
Remember when I did that Mogwai review? I kind of get to that level. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, release the nibbler. Release the nibbler.
I'm going to do that for next week. There's a figure that I got, which I was really kind of against, but I got it for a steal. So I'm like, screw it. I'll review it. And man, yeah, I'm going to go off on this thing.
Wow, that really stinks.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage is playing a full-size Transformer in the movie.
It shouldn't be allowed. I laughed out loud at that.
That's all right. Here, you want to hear a quick funny one? So they're talking about that new Toxic Avenger reboot.
Yeah.
Guess who stars in it?
Peter Dinklage?
Yes.
What? He's a Toxic Avenger?
Is he going to be
Toxic Avenger?
Well, I can see it. I can see
Shit. That's for real?
I think so. I looked it up and I just started dying. I was like, no.
Wow.
We're gonna have to review it once it's available. Like
legit Toxic Avenger.
We'll have to do the original and new like comparison.
What a piece of junk.
The mini-me version.
No, the blast of fire
doesn't quite measure up, does it, Vinny?
Oh, the puns are gonna be great.
They came up a little bit short on this reboot. What's up, Nelson? It's like I'm happy to see you.
He's a little downs.
You have the rare OJ bot that transforms into a white Bronco. No, but I tell you what, I did see. I did see a couple Transformers that are sitting out there on the shelves right now, and they are getting ready to go into discount mode. And it does look SUV-ish, like a Bronco. I am thinking of buying it and painting it white. And then I'm going to paint the Transformer robot face brown. Put some oranges around the shoulders and everything. And they'll get it. They'll get it.
You have to put a bumper sticker on it. The juice.
Peter Dickhead, right? Hey, what's going on, Doc? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. Is he going to use a half a mop? He's going to use a Swiffer. Okay, all right. We're going to get into the third part of this as I lose my mind on this figure, and it really is a shame with the articulation and everything. To get to this ending of the video. Yeah, I was not happy, and I was quick to balk this up. I usually do some extras now with a lot of the filming of these figures. Like I'll put them in some poses with, like, special lighting and maybe other figures, to do scenes. And I was going to do the whole scene where Starscream shooting Megatron at him with the blast effects. By the end of this, I didn't even have the desire to do it anymore because I just want to box these up and get them away from me.
Yeah.
Before they wound up getting launched out a window.
Speaking of that articulation, we're going to take a quick look at Ironhide right here. Arms come all the way up and around like that, all the way around. He's got a bicep cut right there. He does have the elbow joint. He does have movement in the hand as well, just a little bit right there. Let's check out the head articulation. Oh, it looks down quite a bit and does look up quite a bit as well. That is actually really nice. Got some good side by side, a little bit of tilting and rocking with the head as well. That's not bad at all. He does have a full waist cut. This groin flap does lift up, and that's what allows him to get into that really good kneeling position. As you can see, he kicks forward quite far, and he kicks back just as far as well. Oh no! And then the leg comes right off the joint. Way to go, Hasbro. Way to make sure that these legs poured in properly. You son of a bitches. And taking a look at Prowl, it's basically the same thing. His joints, but his come up a little bit higher because there's that's part of his transformation. It allows him to get a little bit higher of a reach with that shoulder. Of course, comes all the way around as far as coming right up to the doors. He does have the elbow cut right there. He does have a bicep cut. I believe he has, yes, he does have turn here at the hand as well. The head movement on Prowl is limited compared to Ironhide. It looks down a little bit and up a tiny bit, and he does have some good side-to-side movement, and he does have a little bit of rock back and forth. It just seems like it's limited. It's definitely limited coming down, but yeah, that's okay. His chest would get in the way anyway, and he'd never see past it. He does have a waist turn. Once again, full Van Damme splits. Kicks all the way up a really good amount and kicks back just as far. The only thing getting in the way is the top of the police cruiser. And here we go again with the joints that just pop right out of place because Hasbro didn't think of a better way of putting those joints in so they wouldn't fall out. Ugh. So here we go with him transform. Prowl doesn't look too bad. A lot of these things don't snap, and this Ironhide, what a piece of shit. I don't know how they possibly made the mold worse, but nothing snaps into this the way it should. I can't get any of this shit to port in. Piece of junk. Absolute trash. This is garbage right here. They did a remold and they didn't fix the problems from the old mold, and it's even worse than it was before. Because of this shit right here and their inability to put extra paint on, I cannot recommend this. This is shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know the original figure had that many issues.
Yeah, the original one had a bunch of problems with a lot of the things porting in, especially the roof pieces and the back piece. So eventually I did manage to get the top snapped in, but I had to jam it on. And I had a hell of a time popping it back apart to put a robot form to put it back in the damn box. I jammed the living shit out of the front to get it to snap in. The rear back panel that covers the rear section of his van would not port in at all, no matter what I did. Wouldn't port in, and I lost my mind on it.
Wow, dude!
Had the furry transformer in the back.
So I didn't know the original release had those same issues, and again, for what was it? Oh, close to $40. Yeah, I'm happy I passed on it because you can't just burn money like that. And they still didn't correct it. What a bunch of scumbags.
What's up, Steve? Unbutton your groin flap, madame. I need to climax.
Hey, Nelson. Hey, Slasher. How you doing?
Hey, Slasher.
What's up, Slasher?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Did you make it in time to see me losing my mind?
Over those last two Transformers, yeah.
That was the third part. I was slowly losing my mind throughout the entire review.
It looked cool. I like the battle damage on them. That looked cool, but
but I don't think there was enough. That was the problem. This is shit quoted a year. Yeah. Get on the stream.
I was dying at groin flap.
You like how I try to solve the problem of it not porting into place? You smash it on.
Oh my god!
I'm surprised you didn't take out a mallet and just hit it.
I came close to launching that damn thing across the room,
but
I was like, you know what? If I decide to take it back, I don't think that's going to be conducive of getting my money.
Yeah.
Then again, if I just bring the whole thing and pour it out on the table, yeah, this is what I got from this thing. I want my money back. That would have made a hell of a video.
Oh, man. Holy hell.
Too much baby laxative. Yeah, bashing the bumper on the table. Yeah, I will lose my mind over these things, especially, like I said, for the price tag. This thing was somewhere around the $50 to $60 range. And for something that costs that much, number one, if you're going to put blast effects in there, put enough blast effects for all the weapons that you're putting in it, even if you're including weapons that they shouldn't have had, because Ironhide didn't have the second gun, Ratchet did. And I guarantee you they're going to release an 86 Ratchet, and he's only going to have one gun, because that's Hasbro for you at this point. Like, they pay attention to half the details because they're retards. And then on top of that, to have the blast effects purple, to not include enough battle damage, yeah. Just drove me freaking nuts. Just absolutely, oh boy.
They don't give a shit. This was just, we'll repurpose these things, get them back out on the shelf.
Cliffbanger. Cliff bumper. Fucking Steve.
He can't stop once he gets on that mode. He can't stop.
Chaos Hoy, you know what? They are, but they seriously, what a bunch of fucking asshats. These fucking guys, I mean, they start to lean in the right direction and they still make stupid mistakes like that. Yep. Like, let's not correct all the issues and give somebody exactly what they should be getting, especially for, once again, that price point. Yep. But let's make it worse somehow. You know what? And I know that there's a lot of people out there to get this kind of product from Hasbro directly, and they review it, and they always give them 5 stars. Oh, this is great. You know, what a wonderful job these guys do. Oh, Hasbro, you're amazing. Hey, that ain't me. Bitch, you send me free product, and that shit is shit, I'm going to still say it's shit. I don't care if you're giving it to me for free or not.
Yep.
Fuck yourself. Give me a good fucking product. I have integrity, cocksuckers.
Yeah, man. Like I said, the figure I'm going to go off on for next week, that is a Hasbro figure. Holy hell. Because this is, you know, and again, I sold off a lot of things and I traded in things like at GameStop, and, you know, I got some discounts on figures, and it's like, all right, we got a cool line of things coming out. I get what I could, and then, like, I had to cap myself. So, like, again, everyone knows, like, I've been getting the G.I. Joe classifieds. I'm not getting full waves. I'm cherry picking the characters that I like, because, again, I know once they're gone, you'll never get them again. That's kind of how it's been with the G.I. Joe shit.
Real quick, Vinny.
Yeah.
Adam says he's got to jump out. Adam, do you have anything to say before you leave?
That was pathetic, Tommy. That was horrible. Oh my goodness. $60? Shit, I wouldn't take it for free, man. That was yes. I'm headed over to the men's room to give them a hand tonight. They're having a Thursday stream due to schedule issues. I did leave you guys the link if you'd like to join afterwards. Thank you for having me on, dude. This is always a blast. You know I love Transformers. I was digging for more pictures to pop up, but I'll save it for next time because I love doing Transformers stuff with you, brother.
And not a problem. You know me. I'm always going to have some kind of Transformers stuff on the table as I dig into the old stuff and do it with going old school. So
the real Transformers, the only Transformers that I allow. So yes, those are fine. GoBots, well, we'll deal with those. You know, they're okay too. But yeah, man, no, thank you as always. Enjoy your show, and again, give them hell, man. That's what I love about you. You're not going to sugarcoat it. They messed up, and see, you just help people realize they're not even caring, you know, at all about the product. They're making it shittily and overcharging you for something that falls apart. Yep. Yeah, there was some cool looks on it and everything, but again, if you can't transform it, man, it's not a Transformer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What, are you supposed to leave it in the box? So yeah, again, thank you so much, everyone. You know, have a blast. I will catch you guys on the next one.
Have a great one, Adam.
Have a good one,
Thanks
Adam.
for stopping in, man. You take care.
Thank you, brother.
Safe travels, brother. Yeah, it's insane. It is insane.
Yeah, did you see Steve? Cement spray was the best Transformer. I bet you didn't have a groin flap. You know, there was a later edition of Sea Spray that did have a groin flap, Steve. Nelson, do you have the Michael Vick bot? It's a Vick bot, Michael Vick bot that turns into a drowned pit bull too soon. Trash, bro. Frankie knows retards runner up quoted here. Hasbro's new theme is trash, bro. What's going on? Toll Bat hail to the chat. I miss 90s toys. Yeah, you know what? And I really felt like they were going to hit one out of the park right here. More so 80s, yeah. I really felt they were going to hit it here, and then they just completely let me down. But I will say this. After this one, it does get better because I do have 2 other Transformers where they're leaning back into the G1 stuff, and it does get a lot better. So this one was a huge letdown, but unfortunately, this was the big price tag ripoff right there, as Cap puts it. Yep. But Vinny, I relinquish the floor to you, good sir.
All right, yeah, we'll jump into it. But Nelson, didn't they make a Harrison Ford that I think it was a Han Solo one that transformed into?
Yes. So they did have a Han Solo, and I believe it was Han Solo and Chewbacca. They both came together and turned into a Millennium Falcon.
Okay, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know that you put them together to do it. That's
what did Nelson? What did Nelson say? The new Jack bot that turns into a crack pipe.
Yeah. What
the hell?
Careful now. Shit. New Jack might show up at your house.
The ghost of New Jack. He'll be the ghost of New Jack.
Yeah, right. Holy shit! Who's he gonna throw off of a 3-story? It's all right. I got Torpedo here.
Just leave the machines running for 2 weeks. Hasbro. OG Lurch, what's up, man?
Holy shit. Well, this is Hasbro doing it right, and I know that this figure was actually something that was done a little while ago. I followed the sculptor on Twitter, but I can't remember what the hell his handle is for the life of me. But I seen him, like, this whole thing was a digital sculpt, and beautiful, beautiful figure. So yeah, well, we're gonna break this one down a bit. Again, that shitty packaging. Oh my god, I'm so tired of this crap. Sure, it looks clean for what it is, but
it's so stupid. It's so stupid that they do that.
Yeah, why would you leave out a window? Because again, there are figures that have problems. Somebody they dropped a comment on one of my older reviews. They got the one of the bots, what the hell are they called? The bat?
The bat.
Yeah. And the guy goes, he picked up 2 of them, and they had swapped out parts. He says, but the tape was on the packaging. So these people they're getting better at like heating it up to peel it off and then putting fresh tape on. But he goes, like different heads and accessories, but they didn't match the body. And I'm like, oh, that's clearly people who return them. And he had a window so he could see it. Now imagine what the fuck they've been doing with these things. You know, you're gonna have like a dog's dropping as long as it weighs the same, and they throw it in there. You know, I mean, holy hell! It's these surprise bags, and I said it in the.
You're gonna open up the surprise bag and get somebody who's used tissues and shit.
You're gonna get used condoms in there.
Dude, and I said it. So this is Hasbro.
Why does this bag feel so squishy?
So you're gonna pick the bag up, and there's just black permanent marker on the bottom of the little locker box that says "surprise."
Well, I say it during their review as well. This is Hasbro saving the environment by chopping down more trees to use more paper to stick inside of cardboard to stick inside of more cardboard. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen with the packaging, and it's warping the items inside the packaging. Now, it's not on this one, but again, for next week, you're going to see me go off because I do go off on a figure because a weapon was completely, it was supposed to be a straight blade that is completely bent into a U shape.
Oh my God.
Wow. Because it's loose in a bag, shoved inside of a box. And like, you're paying good money for these things because prices have been going up, you know, and that's why, like, I'm not getting a ton of things, or I'm trading in stuff. You could
call it a Uzi.
What's up, Stig?
Hey, what's up, Stig?
Hi, Stig.
Hello. I came to make bad puns and embarrass everyone.
Okay. By embarrass everyone, he means himself.
I think Frank got embarrassed.
I was going to say, I think Frankie has it right here. I don't know what's in the box series.
It's classified. But I mean, the figure himself is beautiful. Again, it's just his harpoon gun that was a little bit bent on this one. So, you know, this was I was pretty lucky with this set. But yeah, again, the sculptor did an amazing job with these.
Something's missing. I mean, the character looks like a gimp. He should have a groin flap.
Okay. But yeah, I keep the mask on this thing because again, he poses just in a really amazing way. Like you could really get this thing. Like I said during the review, he'd be fantastic in the bottom of a fish tank or something. Just yeah, the way that they articulated this, the accessories and stuff. Yeah, he's perfect for that type of thing. But I don't know if the plastic is toxic towards fish because it is Hasbro, and they
Well, you
make
can toss them in and find out.
Well, I don't have any fish right now, but yeah, I mean the plastic could be toxic because it's made in China. So
Now Frankie thinks he needs to see a urologist.
oh, bent harpoon. Is that Peroni's?
It's so bent it can shag around corners. Sorry.
Yeah. His articulation is fantastic, though. I like they give him the extra cut, like above, like where the ankle is as well. But yeah, I just want to do a simple kind of poses for him, so you could see, you know, once he's like on land, you could do just a regular kind of machine gun posing. But you could also give it to any other figure if you're gonna, you know, do this guy properly with his full setup, which you'll see now. And yeah, the harpoon gun, the mask, the breathing apparatus thing, the dagger, like this guy looks awesome.
Since they made him, they must have made the eel too, right?
Yeah, he's the green one, right?
The gray one.
Yeah, they did do that, and I did see a few people that had reviews up there, and they did not have kind reviews for that one.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
The one that I saw in stores was the green one.
Copperhead?
Yeah.
That's the driver of the moccasin.
Yeah,
water moccasin.
I passed on him. I was never a big fan of the character anyway.
Curtis had brought up something that you talked about, the seamless joints.
Yeah, they're getting better, I think, with that stuff. You know, the pinless joints.
I love when they do that.
Which one was it that had the manta ray?
Yeah.
Undertow.
Okay.
No, wait. Undertow had a barracuda. I forget. Wait, you mean the one like that had the manta ray as like an accessory, right?
Yeah.
I had that one.
I don't know
which one had the man. I can't remember which one had the man.
ETEP has that book, so.
Oh no, that was the Hydro Viper right there, the purple one, right?
Yeah, it could be purple or blue. I can't tell the difference. Colorblind.
Well, next time we get ETEP on, we'll get him to do a full breakdown. But the biggest shortcoming. All right, so you have a figure who you're supposed to be posing like that. He needs some kind of a stand, and he didn't come with any. And that's the problem with the, I think, with all of these. When they put them on a regular card, like they tried doing the vintage kind of look, they give them a little stand. But these classified ones, there are no stands whatsoever, and he needed one because if you're gonna pose him properly, you know, you're gonna want him like, you know, like he's swimming. But
yeah.
What are you gonna do? Lay him on a table? Like I used the crappy McFarlane base, you know, that came with a handful of their figures because again, they're very cheap. I don't know why these companies don't want to throw in these extra bits of plastic just to, you know, so you could display these figures properly.
Probably because it's awesome, plastic.
Though. This is one awesome figure.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is like NECA level. Like this is so good.
Oh, it's beautiful, and the way that you slip on like the flipper part too, like it holds well. Like it's not going to fall off, but it's still like soft enough where it almost feels like a real like flipper that you're putting on your own foot.
Well, Trina. It has a hole on the foot though.
If you do want to put them pegged on a stand, but I mean, but if the stand didn't come
with it, why even make the hole?
Well, it's just something standard that they do on all figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Trina, this is one of the reasons why I flip shit, like how I flip shit on the Ironhide and Proud.
Yeah.
Because I've talked about it numerous times. Hasbro can make good quality figures. They just get lazy.
Yeah. But again, it comes down to who's working on them, if they're fans of the character. Because, like I said, I saw this guy, like the 3D versions of him on Twitter. If I do find the guy's handle, I'm just gonna I'll put the link on this video. But yeah, you could see like the guy cared. He cared about what he was doing. Like again, the way that they did these joints, the way this whole line turned out, like I was really impressed because they were starting to drop the ball on the previous waves that were coming out. There's like only a handful of figures that look good, but now they're getting better again. So, but yeah, I think it comes down to who's working on them, what the character is, if they care about him or not. Like Shipwreck was fantastic as well. I reviewed him a couple weeks ago. Beautiful figure. And yeah, there is another one I'm going to be doing later after you go with another Transformer one. But yeah, the other G.I. Joe I have, again, epic piece. But yeah, I love the themed ones, and this guy is awesome. I know there's the one with the snow gear, but I haven't seen him in stores.
Snow Job?
Yeah, the dude with the red.
That fucking name, Jesus.
Yeah, right. That's Snow Job's it. Woo!
Oh, I found it. It's the Hydro Viper stick, the one with the manta ray.
Okay, nice. But
Okay.
yeah, no, this thing was killer. And there is no like real limit with the with articulation with the head, because the way that they did the tubes, there's enough space where you could move the face in whatever direction you want, and it does hold well on top of his face, like the mask, the way that it is. So if you don't ever want to see, his ugly mug underneath it, you could just keep the mask on it. But again, if you're displaying this figure, you're displaying him, very similar to how I did it over here, But yeah, I dig the swimming poses that you could do with this guy, because it looks very natural. And like Trina was saying, it's like NECA level. Like you could tell that they cared about what they were doing.
It really is. Like, I am so impressed. I mean, it makes me wish that I, got into G.I. Joe just to collect these figures because they're amazing. But yeah, I understand what you mean about them not including a stand. I feel like if they did include a stand, then it would have been priced higher. And you can get inexpensive stands on like Amazon. You can get like a I don't know, like 10 of them or something like that for not too much money, actually.
Okay.
So, there's that. But yeah, these figures just look amazing. I love them.
They do.
Well, I would like to add, I think that they could include stands with these type of figures without jacking up the price too much. And I'm going to give an explanation why. Because on average, most of these figures, even up to like a year ago, they were going for what, like $26 to $28, somewhere in that range. And they were selling the Snake Eyes in Timber in a 2-pack for $34. It was only $6 more. So you could do it without jacking up the price of it, like ridiculously, to put a whole nother figure in the box with extra heads and parts for that figure. Yeah. So there's no reason why they couldn't put, even if it was a cheaper stand in it, there's no reason why they couldn't have put a cheaper stand in it with this figure.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Well, there's some characters that come with bigger weapon accessories and things like that, So it's like, to add a little bit extra plastic piece or something that could, that you could do a cool pose with, it doesn't even have to be that substantial, but just enough.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but yeah, because like a lot of these, they range depending on what stores you get them from, anywhere from like 22 up to about 28. So they're somewhere in that ballpark. Again, depending where you're going.
Well, I know the prices recently just went up on a whole bunch of shit. But real quick, what's up, Spartan Flash Century, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming in. And
I got the picture of the Hydro Viper.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh yeah.
I have that one.
Oh, cool.
That was pretty cool.
Flounder.
And he had one webbed hand.
Yeah,
his hand wasn't. He had one normal Joe hand and one webbed hand.
And that's what happens when you get into inbreeding.
Yeah,
he's a flipper kid.
I
remember having this guy, but he did break.
I never had this guy. I used to see him in the stores. I kind of never really liked him
Mm-hmm.
because he without that mask he looks dumb. That's what you assume without the mask. Look at those fucking eyes. You got those sad, pathetic eyes. Like, what's become of me?
Yeah.
I used to have him with me in the bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
Does he didn't? He wasn't one of. He wasn't one of those color changing ones, was he?
No.
No.
All right. Because later on they did those eco warrior ones where they
they try to do extra gimmicks and stuff.
So, Vinny, you know, like the production of toys and stuff. Are these things painted or are they molded that color?
Well, he's molded purple, and then they put red paint on him, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually like what the base color is like the majority of what the figure is pretty much made up of.
But that's a if you want to like look up anything about Joe's, that's the one to go to, yojoe.com. They have all the
nice.
Yeah, they have all the info on it. Like they'll
That's
show
pretty
you
cool.
every single item. As like if one of them came with 5 hoses, they're gonna let you know because they went in the 80s when they started to get hose happy with these figures.
Hose.
Well,
Hose for Joe's.
Joe's with lots of hose. Joe's with lots of hose.
Snap.
And Godfather was 100% jealous of G.I. Joe back then. Shifty Gizm is in the chat. What's going on? He says Snake Eyes and Timber Crockmaster were 45 here at his Walmart. Wow. 45.
45.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit higher than they were at the stores at my local Targets.
They're about 50 if I buy them in Norway. If I buy them overseas, I have to pay what you guys pay, and then another 40 in shipping.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have to pay for the air you breathe.
Yeah, it's insane.
But all over the world, we're paying for the food we eat as well.
Yeah.
And the water. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, don't start your bullshit, Vinny.
Yeah. Nelson was saying he lost sound for a second. I didn't hear anything lose sound, but all right. So after the horrendous start to the stream with that horrible Ironhide and Prowl, things started looking up with this next one. It wasn't perfect, but it was definitely a step up and a step in the right direction after the first one. So here we go.
Hey everybody, what's going on? We are hanging out with Cliff Jumper! Oh, Cliff Jumper, the master of the Transformers, is hanging out, having some lettuce, having a good time. And we're getting ready to show off another Transformers toy. Once again, they are delving back into the stuff that was great about the franchise, and they are picking something, well, not necessarily exactly from the 86 movie. This one is based off the characters from the 86 movie, and we got from Legacy Evolution, we got the Junkion Crash Bar. So you can begin army building your Junkions. Of course, they already had Wreck-Gar, they had Junkie, they had Scrap Hook, and now they have Crash Bar. I do like the fact that you are getting a bunch of these different Junkions. Granted, the size disparity between Scrap Hook, Crash Bar, and of course Junkie and Wreck-Gar is phenomenal, and even I would say a little bit more of a stretch than it was in the 86 movie. But still, it is nice to see that they are paying some more respect to that 86 movie by including some more Junkion characters that we never really got a chance to see many of.
We've grown all we've mini bone.
And right out of the box, here we have Crash Bar. Crash Bar is a tiny Junkion. This is even smaller than Scrap Hook. Like, holy shit. Next to Junkie and Wreck-Gar, he looks like a very, very tiny Junkion.
TV. We talk TV. You talk some TV.
We go with his dual blaster cannons in his hand, showing off a little bit of your articulation. Now, because of the wheels that are in the back, no matter how you move them, you can never get this figure into a kneeling position. That is always a miss to me. Now, he is a parts former, so maybe that makes up for it. You got these port-in exhaust on the back. And that is pretty much it. We'll try a few more action poses and see what he looks like.
We've run we've mini bone. We've run we've mini bone.
Here we go in one more action pose. Jumper is losing his patience, and we've got to get right through this review, right, Jumper? Oh, Jumper. But, I mean, there is a decent amount of posability in this one. Is it great? It's not perfect. He is a parts former, too, and he goes on to the other figures to become extra accessories as far as weapons. And here we have Crash Bar in his bike form.
Have a nice day, and please close cover before striking, friends. Reap it or rooty, so say the Junkians.
I mean, overall, I got to say, it wasn't the worst thing I ever seen. It was definitely a step up from the Prowl and the Ironhide figures, but I do like the fact that they're leaning back into more of these Junkion figures. And there was another one they did release recently. So this next one is like a different type of, it's like a trash truck or something. It's really weird. And then they also released another Junkion, which is basically a remold of Junk Heap, but it's in purple colors, and it's supposed to be a Junkion Decepticon.
Junkion. That sounds like a fucking robot.
It sounds like a mouth.
Defeated heroin.
But apparently, with the way all these ones work, like these smaller ones, like because they're all parts from, you can take parts off them and put them onto other bots, accessorize and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So you're supposed to be able to take all these guys that parts form, and you could build a big Junkion bot with all of them.
He does look good, but like again, I think he is way too small. That's what sucks. I saw him in one of the stores. I thought about it. I'm like, he's tiny, you know, and it's like for the price they're asking for. But at least when he transforms, though, do you have to break him in pieces, or does he transform normally?
He transforms, but the problem is since he's a parts former and the parts are meant to come off to be able to go on other parts, there's a few things that keep just wanting to slip out of the joints.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, they kind of slip out sometimes, and then there's a lot of complaints, and you got to kind of jam everything back together. Usually, everything is copacetic after that.
You need to make sure the groin flap isn't lubed.
He's always scratching at his dents.
I am laughing my ass off at that.
Oh, shit. That was great.
You take him out of the box and he lays right on the cardboard just fine.
Yeah, just flip him out.
Overall, though,
she's gonna blow a gasket.
Overall, I really wasn't disappointed with this one. I think there were some things that they definitely missed out on again. Mm-hmm. But it is kind of nice that they're kind of leaning back into the '86 movie stuff. I do appreciate that. I mean, even if they're taking liberties, that's okay. I don't mind it. I didn't necessarily have to see this character on screen to be able to get a figure of him and appreciate it for what it is. I mean, that's the whole thing about it. Look, I know we talk about canon and everything like that. Yeah, so it's canon that there were Junkions in the Transformers. Do we know what all of them look like? Because, you know, we only seen a fraction of them on screen.
Right.
So there very well could have been smaller Junkions that were midgets like this. I guess. Hopefully they didn't go up Junkion trees or anything. But there could have been midgets like this in the world of the Transformers. We don't know.
Well, but I mean, like when he's
some of them might have had peg wheels.
But I was gonna say, I mean, when he transforms into his vehicle mode, like he would be in super tiny motorcycle in comparison to everything else, you know? Like I don't know. It misses the mark when they fuck up that bad.
Well, that was the thing of like a Junk Heap and Wreck-Gar. Mm-hmm. So when one transforms into the bike, you can easily sit the other figure on top of that bike. But if you take this Crash Bar and Scrap Hook, you could have Scrap Hook sit on Crash Bar. And apparently the other one that's coming out too, I forget what he is. He's supposed to be like some kind of trash trucker or something. It looks like he might be able to sit on Crash Bar as well.
Okay. Why do you want all your Transformers sitting on one another?
I don't know. I mean, what else are you going to do? Take care of time, profit.
They're going to give each other some kind of computer virus.
They're going to give them. They're going to give themselves something that they're going to need medication for too.
They tainted their oil.
Not the taint. You never go ass to mouth, Vinny.
Yeah, never do that. That's wrong. It's unsanitary.
Yeah, you might asphyxiate. Sorry.
So before I hand the floor off back to you guys, I do have a toy break I want to get to, and this kind of like is some of the other stuff that I've seen on the shelves recently. Some of it is okay, and some of it I'm still kind of questioning. So here we go.
Yeah, most of these Joes probably pretty quick. Looks like they restocked a few, but crap, like all the shipwrecks are gone. There's like 2 left. A bunch of rock and rolls here though. Cobra Copperhead, Python Crimson Guard, and Dusty. And that is all they got left for those classified figures. All the rest are gone. So I didn't see this last time because all I seen was Captain Marvel and Doctor Doom, which that doesn't look half bad. But they got Hawkeye with the Sky Cycle. Interesting. And then they got the Skrull Queen and the Super Skrull. I don't know. That doesn't look half bad.
That box artwork for Dusty was so shitty. That like looked like melted face kind of shitty artwork. Like, oh man, that really pissed me off.
I think I had Dusty too when I was a kid. Pretty sure.
Oh, nice. Actually, I was able to snatch up the first release of that figure.
Yeah, the sand colored one.
Yeah. I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that for next week.
That was the one I was looking for, and I had seen it once or twice, and at that time I just didn't have the money for him.
Yeah.
I hear you, Cassoy. Disney, boo.
Right. Yeah, because that Dusty, he came out like what, 2 years ago or something, right?
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, because his number was like 50 something, and they're up to the 70s now. So yeah, they've been cranking out these figures. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, just on Twitter today, Target has the Tiger Force Dusty on clearance for $12.49. Yeah, they had a bunch of those things on clearance at Target. They would not sell. Same thing with the Indiana Jones figures. They would not sell. Junk. That freaking Indiana Jones that he did from like the classic retro series. That, oh my God, that Temple of Doom one, he looked like he had a balloon face. Like he looked like he was celebrating a Pink Floyd song, Indiana Jones. That's what it should have been labeled at, because his face is just round like a balloon. It was terrible looking. Classic Slinky. Yeah, I got a classic Slinky dog from the original company, not Disney. Which they could still, apparently, the original Slinky company could still make that dog, and there's nothing Disney could do about it because it was theirs and Disney licensed it off. And I'm sure that pisses Disney off that they could do that.
Right.
What did you think of the Captain Marvel, Doctor Doom, and the Hawkeye, and then the Super Skrull and the Skrull Queen?
I kind of dig the retro look like on Doom, but like I was never a fan of that Captain Marvel.
Yeah, they gave him like the Secret Wars look, right?
Yeah,
he looked like the Secret Wars figure.
Yep. Yeah, I had that too back in the day. They should have put like the little reflective sticker thing on it. Those what the hell are they called? It's not just reflective. It had that gimmick to it.
Yeah, it flashed from one picture to another. I forget what it's
A
called.
hologram.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the foil type hologram like the Marvel cards.
Yeah, it had like these lines on them.
I have a thing of a thing of Superman that does that. Man, what is that called?
Okay.
I can't remember what it is either. It's not lenticular.
Isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know, a version of it, but yeah, like if they should have gave that kind of gimmick to the newer figure, that would have been pretty cool. But I mean, again, it's not a bad looking set. Like, yeah, if you like the characters, it's it's all right. They could jump on it. I did see the Gray Hulk and Banner at a GameStop. They only had one of them, but again, too pricey. But it did look awesome. It looked really cool. It's like if I had the dough, I would have probably done it, but I had pulled the trigger on something else, and yeah, I'll show that.
Here's my question, real quick, before you show that. So once again, as we all know, that this is Hasbro doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that this was Hasbro's idea to bring out some of these older characters? Because it seems like for the past few years, the only thing that's been pushed is the Disney style shit that doesn't sell. Obviously, it doesn't sell. I mean, how many Shurikopters were up for fucking sale because that shit wouldn't sell?
Oh, dude.
So do you think maybe this is Hasbro pushing it again with Disney the same way they did with some of the Star Wars figures? Like, hey, let us release classic characters.
Well, I know Toy Biz had done that at one point too, because I before Disney bought them, over the years, and a lot of people don't know that, Toy Biz owned Marvel at a certain time, and then Marvel owned Toy Biz. It's almost like they were flipping their licenses around. It was so weird how it worked, because they were even in the same, like they're on the same floor. Well, they were in Manhattan years ago, because I went there a few times, and I was confused by it. And one of them said that one of the editors I was talking to, they said that. I go, yeah, it's well, yeah, they owned us at a certain point, and vice versa. I'm like, what? That's weird. But yeah, they have these conversations where if shit doesn't sell, they try to go back into the wall to see what did sell. So hitting some of the retro type stuff and those kind of new, old classic looks over the movie looks and the shitty failed TV shows. Yeah, it only makes sense, and then to see like how those lines will do, because there are people who are just collecting straight up comic book versions only, and they've been shortchanged for a long time because of, again, Disney and all their shitty shows and all the crap that they're trying to push. And again, like you said, nobody wants them. I saw all those Lokis and whatever that wave was. Like, they were hanging off pegs everywhere. The Kang figure, and the actors literally like strangling and beating women in a limo. Like, yeah, that's a great marketing tool. Hey, you want a figure of a guy who beats women? It's I don't know. It's so stupid. But yeah, I think they're going back to the well because, again, especially with that Hulk figure. That's a tried and true figure mold. They released I think 4 or 5 different versions of that Hulk with like the same body. But yeah, this time they did a Gray Hulk, which is closer to his first appearance. So putting him with Bruce Banner, like, that was pretty cool. It worked. The orange and the blue looks really cool too, like, because he has like that ripped shirt, with the blue jeans and all that. Like, it works. It just looks good. Like I said, if I had to do, I would have probably done it. But again, I ended up the line I'm collecting is a classified, and again, not all of them, just certain ones. Kind of, like I said, cherry picking. But this one was kind of a must. And yeah, I got scrap iron. And yeah, this thing is beautiful. So I'll pull it display. I'll probably put it up for everybody tomorrow. But really cool looking figure. And I know, like, these kind of box set versions, they never have a window. So even when they were doing those lines, like, I think Baroness was the only one that had like a proper window, and then everything else went like to a box like this. But yeah, again, they did a really great job. The effects that this guy comes with are awesome. All those missile ones, and like even that whole setup, you could use it with other figures. If you have Marvel Legends, if you have Transformers, like, it's pretty perfect. So that was cool. For what it is, the box art's fine. It's adequate.
I have the OG scrap iron.
Nice. Yeah, I never got that when I was a kid. I wanted it.
Or I didn't get him as a kid. I got him as an adult.
Gotcha. But he's cool, man. I like how they did it and all the scars that they put all over him. Like he's got that whole left side of his face is all scarred up. Although I think the paint application could have been a little better, like put a little more in there. But I get it that they don't want to get too grotesque with it. Because again, I mean, it's, air quotations for kids. I mean, let's face it, it's collectors who are getting these things. But again, yeah, you got fathers who like they want to get these for their kids too and kind of introduce them to G.I. Joe since it's always playing on YouTube. They have the 24-hour channel for it. But yeah, I mean, again, and that's smart too because it keeps the marketing going for all these things. He comes with his bigger Foot Locker thing. He's got extra paper and more paper, and all of his accessories and shit are in there. Which again, luckily, nothing got too warped. We got a little bit of warping on one of the missiles, but again, this is because it's stupid packaging. Sorry, if you just throw them in bags like that, it's just retarded. The texture they put all over a suit looks really good. Again, seamless joints. That's always a plus. All those kind of, little bits of like the padding and stuff, his shoes, like it all looks really good. That is a softer piece that's on his chest. He might have an extra point of articulation in there, but again, it's limiting his range. But I'm sure like if you were able to take that off, you could probably find another joint in there because it seems like they're doing that anyway. I know there were some figures that they even released in their first line that had extra articulation. But yeah, his head, pretty decent range. The butterfly joints don't really work as well, but everything else is really good on it. He does have the up and down hinge for the wrist, which is cool because that's what you want, especially army figures and anyone that's holding a gun. Yeah, the hula hoop action's good for the waist. He still has the drop down hips, the upper thigh rotation, the double hinge for the knee. So like articulation's fantastic on this thing. Again, I like that whole line it's they're almost all identical with the range of motion that you'll get out of these figures. You might have some differences because of like if pant legs or if they're too puffy and compared to some characters, but for the most part, yeah, they're all awesome. Army figures are great. The drone part of it, pretty cool how they did this. The sculpt is fantastic. He does have like separate articulation that's there. So,
instead of a regular old stand like the old one, he's supposed to be on treads now. That's
Yep.
pretty cool. I like.
Yeah, that's what I dig. And that they put the ball joint for the upper half as well.
Yeah, the OG one was just four. It's like it was like a.
It was like
I think it was three. Yeah. Three legs.
You were just like planted into the ground type of thing.
Hold on real quick. Now, we were talking about Hasbro and Toy Biz.
Yeah, we were jumping around.
Or comics, Marvel Comics and Toy Biz. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But Hasbro, no, they have an exclusive deal with Disney where they make toys for Disney. So they have a deal with
the Marvel Legends and all that shit.
And Indiana Jones and God knows what else.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, paint application is fantastic on this thing. There's not a ton of it, but what's there looks really good, really clean. Again, all the extra accessories and stuff that he has. I'm happy nothing else was bent or broken there, but you can. Some of the missiles are the two that he has. One of them's a little bit more warped than the other, but the effects look great. It's all like translucent orange plastic, and then they put like white paint and kind of spray painted onto it to give like the smoky kind of dust effects on that. The helmet's great. It's all like matte, and then they have like the visor looks kind of glossy or reflective. He's got the Cobra insignia that's on there as well. And yeah, the helmet fits perfectly. So you got to fidget around a little bit, make sure his nose is lined up properly. But yeah, that thing ain't coming off his head because the way that they molded it and everything, like you have to separate it slightly in order to get it past his ears. But once you do, it's solid. You can hang them upside down, throw them at a wall. Yeah, it ain't coming off. But yeah, no, it's cool. And again, even his little kind of drone remote control thing is that looks great. You get those extra little antennas, the red screen, beautiful stuff. Great details all around with this. His gun fits in his hand. You can put it in the holster, whatever you want to do. You could do it. So
Can you put it in his groin flap?
Yeah. So these look good. The way that they connect is pretty good as well. So no major issues. Although I might heat it up just to straighten them out a little bit more, because I'm gonna have to take out the heat gun to fix something else. Again, that one figure that I'm gonna go off on. That's gonna be a fun review. But this guy was pretty damn sweet. Yeah, these kind of explosions and the missile effects are really good. Those are pretty cool. Like I said, they should be able to fit with Transformers and all that.
That one looks like it's gone way too far up the groin flap, though. There's blood on it.
Oh, no.
Probably use it on a midget.
Yeah, but these are pretty good. I like they have different size ones too, so it looks like one's shooting out before the other one.
That somehow sounded nasty, Vinnie.
Yeah, I was waiting for Stig. That's why I got silent.
I heard a slight sound from Tina. From Trina. I hear it every time she thinks something pervy. You hear a slight giggle.
Oh shit. But yeah, this was a great set. They did an awesome job.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah. I was really happy with this one. And again, it's like I saw one in the store. I'm like, yeah, nope, not sleeping on it. Because there's a couple other Joes that I missed. And I'm like, I'm not spending crazy money to get them online. Nope. So.
Unfortunately, that seems to be the cancer spot with a lot of collectors. These no good freaking scalpers.
Yeah. They're scumbags. But yeah, you get into a kneeling pose just fine. Like, again, really good stuff, which you could do. And I kind of dig that one effect too. It almost like out of like a back exhaust or something.
If you would have put that right by his feet, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Put it near his butt.
Exactly. That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
It's the poop wind effect.
He's letting it rip.
Yeah, Chaos. You got to be careful by catching those Disney STDs.
Fogging up his retreat.
This would go good with an Iron Man display too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, quite honestly, that came with a lot more accessories for the same style and size packaging that Snake Eyes and Timber came in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was our slasher.
No, all those like the extras they got with the the explosions and shit and the and the backblast coming out of the launcher, shit like that. They Marvel years ago when they were making when they were still with Toy Biz, there was a War Machine figure that had all that stuff that when you put it on his shoulder cannon, it has all those sorts of attachments to it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Yes, I mean they could do this type of stuff. I don't know why it's like it takes them so long to be like, yeah, we'll do it now. Because I know like a lot of the G.I. Joe figures, they have like an extra like pinhole in the guns and stuff. Because like I know there are extra effects that are coming out with different figures, and you could put like the blast effects like again like on the front of a gun like it's blasting. Like they're starting to think about that, but how come it's not mandatory yet? That should have been put into every single one of the packaging for any of these figures. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Absolutely.
I had when I was a kid.
Yeah,
That's Zarkan's sister, right?
Yeah, Zorana. Yeah. She is, I think, one of the best female figures that they made. The Lady J is pretty good too, but this one is better. All the joints are extra tight. That Lady J, she's like a looser figure. Again, there's a lot of Joes that probably ran it. Anyway, there's just a couple of dreadnoughts. So
I don't know what Lady J you were hanging out with. The one I was with was nice and tight, Vinny.
well, I got the first release of her, so it could have been that they just
Probably the one who had her after Tommy. Sorry.
But this dude was awesome.
That was kind of a compliment, wasn't it?
It really was. That's the nicest thing you ever said to Tommy.
No, I said lots of nice things to Tommy.
But yeah, this one was killer, and I'll probably put I'll get this out there for you guys tomorrow. So if you want to look back and see it, but yeah, excellent, awesome Cobra figure. So.
No, I forget. Was that one supposed to be a Target exclusive?
I think so. Yeah, I think he is. That's another reason why I'm getting him now, because any Target ones, like, yeah, fucking good luck finding them.
Yeah, I know. Well, even my Targets, like lately, there's a lot of shit that they're just selling out of left and right.
Yeah.
And I made note of that when I was doing that Joe one. I mean, like, they were stocked up the last time I was in there. They were stocked up with those torpedoes, the Cobras.
Mm-hmm.
The Pythons and all those other ones. They had a couple rows dusty. They had like almost 2 rows of shipwrecks. The only thing that they had a real abundance of was rock and roll when I went back. Like everything else, it was a few figured, like 2 or 3 maximum.
Well, the last time I
was there, they had like 7 of each.
Well, last time I went, the only thing I saw was 1 shipwreck. That was it. So, and I had a short where I had it looked like they had like a good number of rock and rolls, and they only had 1 torpedo. That's why I got the torpedo. And then, Trina, she surprised me with rock and roll, which is fantastic. That is an awesome figure. Check out the review for anyone if you missed it last time. That's on my channel. But that was killer. Again, thank you, Trina, for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's awesome.
These are beautiful series that they just put out. So that's it. If they put out quality, they will fly off the shelves. The ones that suck, you see those figures all over the place. You know, they're
that was figures. Why I was really surprised at that Lady J one, because I know when that one first came out, I seen it all over the place, and I just kept passing on it. I think it was the packaging. The packaging didn't say, hey, this is a good figure to buy. But when I seen it in Ollie's at that discounted price, I was like, I'll pick this up and check it out. And I was like pleasantly surprised at how well done that figure was.
Yeah.
Like I really didn't have any issues with any of the joints in there. Like everything was really good. And like I said, for $12.99, yeah, that was a bargain deal for that figure, I thought.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that sometimes Hasbro really does miss out on. They just absolutely just like gloss over how important packaging is. When you make a good, enticing package, somebody is more willing to pick it up and take a second look at it, as opposed to just, God, that's some crappy artwork on that thing and just passing it by.
Right. Yeah.
Well, artwork is important, I mean, just look at books, right?
Yep.
If a book has a shit cover, you're not inclined to get it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
that goes into hand in hand with one of the toy friends that Slasher and I have talked about a few times, which I still have an extra video I'm supposed to do for him at some point about the Toy Biz Superpowers collection. And of course, before that, Kenner's, when they first started the Superpower collection, one of the reasons that they wound up going with Kenner is with everything that they were doing, not only with the added features in there, but their idea of what the artwork on the packaging should look like. That it should be something amazing. It should be eye-catching. And that's why, DC and a lot of these other companies wound up going to Kenner with that stuff because, hey, here's a company that's really showing off these figures and enticing people to buy them.
Yeah.
It just really it does baffle me how some of these companies still haven't gotten that yet. Like, with these 86 movie ones that Hasbro does sometimes, why isn't there 86 movie artwork posted all over these fucking boxes?
Yeah, that's a great question. These companies are just too fucking stupid.
I swear they're all absolutely on drugs.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
You know, it does baffle me. But okay, I'm going to get into the last Transformer that I had, and here's another one. A lot of people don't know this character because you know, I was talking to somebody about it, and I asked, I think it was Mike, and he said he'd never heard of the character before. So I got into a brief explanation of who the character was as I was talking about and building up for today's show, and I knew of it in passing. And, you know, it was kind of like one of those things. Oh, I remember hearing about that character. I'd never seen it, but I remember hearing about it. So when I seen this on the shelf, I knew where it came from. I don't know how many people might have seen this thing and didn't recognize it, didn't know what it was, so they kind of passed on this one. But I picked it up, and yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of faults with this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at her.
Hey everybody, what's going on? We are hanging out with Cliff Jumper, the master of the Transformers, and we've got something right here Transformer related. Once again, talking about some of the things that Hasbro is beginning to do right again. It really is nice to see that. Like I said previously, I hope they keep the agenda shit completely out of your franchise. You don't need it, Hasbro. Just make great toys of the characters we love to see. And some of the stuff that maybe some of us don't remember or we've never seen before. So we've got one right here from the Legacy Evolution. This one is Crosscut. Crosscut is basically a remolding and recoloring of skids. Now, you may not have never heard of this character, and if you haven't, I don't blame you, because this is a little bit of a lesser known character, because this was actually a 1995 eHobby exclusive in one of the cons that was available. So right out of the box, here we have Crosscut. Going to include a picture of Crosscut right up here in the corner so you can kind of compare him to the G1E Hobby 1995 recoloring of the original skids, but this one doesn't look half bad. The colors look pretty accurate compared to the eHobby exclusive. So here he goes with all his guns, poured it into place, got him in a little bit of an action pose, showing off some of the articulation that this one has. I really do like this. So he's got 3 different weapons that you can pour it in. He's got this one little blaster right here. He's got this twin blaster. And then he's got this big, giant, clearish blue blaster that actually can also double as an axe as well. I like that. I think that is pretty cool. That is a nice addition to this figure. So you can take the weapons and you can pour them all together, and you can create this little like roller character that the eHobby exclusive one came with. And here we go in his vehicle form. Doesn't look half bad. A little bit of difficult to get some of these things to pour it in, but I had the same problem with the original Skids figure. Here he goes with all his weapons poured it on, and I gotta say, even Jumper is impressed with this one. I like this one. I even just for a recoloring of that old Skids mode, I think this one is pretty cool.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.
He is a good-looking figure. My only gripe are those tires. I think they look.
Yeah, the all red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the only thing. That's why I said it looks pretty good in the vehicle form, and I thought that was the one thing that kind of threw it off a little bit.
Yeah.
That the tires were solid red. I'm not really sure why they did that.
That's weird. Why would they do that? That's stupid.
But I like the idea that you have all those weapons like that, and they actually show you can pour them together like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That eHobby exclusive came with some kind of like little weird like trike like bot thing or something like that. So I mean, that was the idea behind that with the axe and everything, that it would kind of make this like little semi-autonomous bot out of the weapons. I thought that was actually pretty cool that they did that though.
That was. I'd give them that. Yeah.
But as far as like problems with the joints, no problems whatsoever with any of the joints on that thing. Wasn't like sloppy loose, and there was some issues porting them together in the vehicle mode. But like I said, the original skids was the same damn way. It's just really tricky to line up some of those joints. So,
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I had no real complaints about this one.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, he looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was one of the ones that like I knew it was a G1 eHobby exclusive, so I'm going to pull up a picture of the original one to include it in it, and I think they did a pretty good job matching up all the damn color scheme on them too.
Yeah,
I mean while it wasn't spot one, it was close enough that there was nothing to really gripe about.
Yeah, I think so. Again, the only gripe would be the tires because everything else looked really good. I think the original figure, like the vehicle mode, looked better. You know, the comparison that you showed.
PowerCon? See, that's one thing. I've never gone to any of those damn cons. Never. I would like to, but usually they're nowhere near me, and usually I'm broke. So, go figure. When I have money, there's no cons anywhere near me.
Yeah.
What were we saying, Vinnie?
What the hell was I saying? Brain fart. Sorry.
No, okay. It happens. I was going to say this, though. So some of the other figures that they just did repaints of, the kind of like, the throw-out figures that were older and everything. So they did one of a Twin Twist.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did is they repurposed the old Twin Twist mold that they used, and they just repainted to create the Diaclone era of what was Twin Twist basically in Takara, which he didn't really have a name back then. He was just one of many nameless bots that they had. So Twin Twist is one of the jump starters. So when they did the recoloring to make him look like the Diaclone era one, they fucked up the color scheme. So instead of the legs being red and the chest being blue, they made the chest red. You know what I mean? They mixed up they mixed up the color scheme. I really don't understand how they did, because there's enough examples out there where they actually see the colors of the Diaclone one. I don't know how they fucked that up. Not to say that it didn't look good and it wasn't the right colors, but it was just done in the wrong places.
Yeah. Well, maybe the person in charge was dyslexic. It's like, hey, he was in charge of Superman, making a Superman figure, and he made the whole costume red and his underwear blue, and they said, "You're fired." Yeah.
No, never heard of it, Chaos. I mean, like I said, they usually, a lot of those damn con things, they ain't nowhere near me anyway. Most of them are out in California or somewhere else, and that's someplace I just don't have money to go see.
Or just like, it's how do they find certain conventions? Because like I was doing it for a while. I was doing a lot of those different shows, but like I kind of knew one of the promoters, so like I was able to figure it out. Or some of the really big shows, when they're going to be, but some of those smaller ones, like I have no idea how people even find them.
Well, I'm sure that the people that are in the loop and always going to all these cons, they know when the next one's coming up.
Right.
Yeah.
They need to do better advertising.
I know.
Whenever Shatner is at a con, right? Why doesn't he just scream con? That's a missed opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
I don't think that he has missed that opportunity. I seen him at his show. He gets pretty crazy.
Welcome to this con!
He had to have done it.
There's some asshat in the crowd saying, "From hell's heart, I stab at thee."
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Chaos is saying there is a site for looking up any con you want. See, that's something I would have probably just, like I said, most of the time they're not around me anyway, so I don't even bother looking. I know there was one, I want to say, like, there was one in Orlando a number of years back, but I didn't have money to go to it. So that's the two problems I always run into. Either, number one, it's nowhere near me, or at the time when they have it, I just don't have the money to spare to be able to go to something like that. So,
Yeah, because they're not cheap. I mean, because
Well, not only that, but come on, Vinny, we're collectors.
Well, yeah,
and I'm sure Trina, I'm sure everybody on this panel is going to understand. I'm sure some of the good people in the chat are going to understand. You go to a con, and all the nice stuff they're going to have at that con. And if you have enough money to get into the con and maybe browse for a while, but you don't have the money to get some of the really cool things that you want to get when you get there, do you really feel like walking out of that con crying? Like, this son of a bitch, I'm going to rob some son of a bitch in the parking lot so I can get that motherfucker. Let me see somebody walking out of here with a bag from the store. I am going to fuck them up in the parking lot.
Yep, that would suck. And like, and then you got like, so I'm up here in New Hampshire, so I would be flying down. So how the hell am I going to get all my stuff back home? I'd have to probably like have you ship it for me,
right? Or you're like, no, this is all carry on. Like, man, this is like too much. It's way too heavy. You can't. No, this is gonna have to be thrown in the cargo bay. You're like, if you break one of my fucking toys, I'm gonna break your head.
Seriously,
right? So
Could you imagine this, just if you will? Vinny and I, we should get together. We should go to a con the next time they have one in Orlando. We'll just wait outside for unsuspecting con dwellers who are coming out with their packages. Vin, you lure them over with I'll give you an offer that you can't pass up. You know, give you an offer that you can't regret, and you get them over, and then I'll freaking sneak in and just sucker punch the shit out of them. We'll take their bag and run off like some bad adults that just stole ice cream from some kid.
This isn't
just
a conversation
team up with some Twitch thought, right?
But
the Twitch thought can distract them, and that's when we can sucker punch them and take the bag.
Yeah, just rob the Simps.
God, this is like 1980s Halloween night all over again. This is great.
But again, it's more of a private conversation, not an on-air conversation. Come on, Thomas.
You know what would be funnier though, if you like got a Twitch thought and stuff, and tricked them into an alley and beat the fuck out of the Simps, and then didn't take anything.
Like you just had fun beating up the Simps.
Yeah, just beat up the Simps.
Oh shit!
And just say more super chats next time, just to get the Twitch thought in trouble.
Holy hell!
How dare you only send $50, you freaking scrub!
Yeah.
We want to see more zeros next time.
$50.
Or else.
That's 50 kicks, motherfucker. And then just, yeah.
What is happening?
I don't know.
We are planning to demise at people at cons. This is wonderful. This is good news, people.
It's not a bad plan.
Just scream con at them and beat the fuck up.
Yeah, Vinny be like, he'll like whisper, "I'm sorry, buddy. Shatner told me to do this."
You know what you should do when you're done, though?
What's that?
The last thing you should do just before the person passes out is to close your groin flap.
I thought you were going to say film is short for the YouTube channel.
That's when you have Frankie come in, wearing the nose and a hat and the big giant horn, right in their faces as they pass out.
Welcome to Clown World, you.
Oh God!
Yeah. Who loves Bobo?
Who loves you, baby?
He said Bobo.
Yeah, isn't that a clown? I don't know.
Bozo? Do you mean
Bobo's
Bozo?
Better.
Bozo the clown? That's from our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Bobo.
I never heard of Bobo the clown.
Me neither. I made him up.
I thought he was a Norwegian character.
Nah.
I always remember people talking about if somebody was wearing really horrible looking sneakers, they were called Bobos.
Clowns in Scandinavia are always Swedish.
See, Frankie's ready. He's got the horn ready to go. We can do this, Vinny.
Oh yeah, I know he was not a fan of a lot of those convention dwellers.
But did you have anything else, Vin?
No. 2 Joes tonight. I mean, a couple of shorts, but
All tapped out because I am tapped out as well. There's actually a few other things that I actually have. I'm working on reviews, but didn't have a chance to finish them. One is something that Trina had sent me, so that'll be ready to go for next Thursday. I also got that Zartan in, which finally got my hands on that. So I should hopefully have a review done for that for next Thursday. If not, it'd be the Thursday after. But I was right. Other figures.
I was right, correct? That she had the wrong description on there.
Yes, she did have the wrong description. It was the regular classified version.
Nice.
The only reason I could figure out she was selling it a little bit cheaper, there was a little bit of wrinkling.
Okay.
To the blister package and everything. The cardboard and the blister pack. It's just a small, minute amount. Wasn't anything to damage the figure, but it was enough that a collector might have turned their snub nose up to it. Oh my God, there's a wrinkle in the R7 quadrant of this card. I am not paying that price for this. I want to take the goddamn thing out of the package and take a look at it. I'm not going to sit there and fucking stare at this thing with a magnifying glass and worry about what quadrant of the cardboard has a dimple in it.
It's ridiculous. But that one, he's got the color changing gimmick, right?
It does not. I didn't see it on there, but then again, I didn't have a chance to really take a really good look at it. Taking care of Cringer and everything. So
right.
My God, all the freaking medication that pig has to take.
Jeez. Poor little guy.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But he's a trooper, though.
Oh man, yeah, of course he is, dude. Those they're better than people. I say it all the time. But yeah, that should be good for next week. Yeah, and I got the Dusty. I think I'll do a review on, and you guys will laugh at the one that I rip apart.
Oh, you want to hear something else funny though, Vinny?
What's that?
So I was in my one local Target that usually gets a lot of the figures from overseas and other ones that we just don't see very often. All of a sudden, they had some more of the Jada Street Fighters. Now, granted, it was only the ones we've seen, so they had a couple more reuse. And then they had another Fei Long. And I was like, son of a bitch. And I was looking at it, and I was like, if I wasn't so broke this month already because of all the shit that happened with StreamYards and everything else, I so would have bought that. And I was like, damn it. It looked so nice sitting there on that package. And I was like, if it would have been Chun-Li, I would have just beat some kid up or some kid's mother just to get the money to get that thing.
Just both of them, man.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, I don't want to be a bigot. Why should I just beat up the mother when I can beat the kid and the mother up?
Grab the kid by the ankles and swing him at the mom like a baseball bat.
Yeah,
damn right. Isn't that equity?
She won't dare duck because she's trying to catch the kid, right? Smack the shit out of her with a retarded kid.
Jesus.
Or you could get that Don Cheadle mask that ETEP has, and you could just grab the figure and walk out of the store. And no one will stop you.
Actually, wear a Don Cheadle mask while they beat the fuck out of him, so he'll get blamed.
and walk out of the store just without paying.
Yeah.
For the figure. There you go.
Yeah, you tell me I told you not to touch me.
But yeah, I have yet to see any of those Jada figures in stores.
Yeah, I see them. I just don't see them quite as often as I was before. Because usually, like I said before, a lot of the people seem to be coming in and they're looking for those oddball figures like that, especially if they're characters of video games or anime and stuff like that. Those are the first things that almost always sell.
Yeah.
Like, I got a short that's going to be coming up later on in the week. Those stupid Mutant Mayhem shits that they're doing for their new Turtles. Lining the walls everywhere. These stand figures. They've got them. The Mutant Mayhem figures.
Is that NECA or Playmate?
That's the Play School TMNT, the new Turtle shit.
Oh, okay.
So those ugly ass things are lining the shelves in the regular aisles where they got figures like Motu and stuff like that. Then they have a special end cap. That's like the first shelf and a half or something on the end cap, plus the front of the end cap, lined with them on there, and they are not moving. And then the retro or classic series ones, they only had about 4 or 5 of them left because all of them sold the fuck out.
Yep. People want the retro. They want the classic. They don't want this new garbage. Yeah, you're right. I seen that too. The end caps are like overflowing onto the floor. Nobody wants them.
Is that the one where you have the April O'Neil who doesn't look like she's named O'Neil?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
She
they
doesn't
were
look
going
Irish,
with
does she?
They were going with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, my friend worked on there, and she said it. She saw it after the fact, the original designs of the character, and yep, she was hot at one point, and they decided to do it on purpose to piss people off.
Well, you know, when they have to eat the cost of all those figures that are not selling,
Yeah,
good for them.
yeah, fuck them. Tour.
Because that's the thing right there. This isn't like, say, Disney licensing, you know, or, you know, Hasbro licensing from Disney to make Marvel characters, you know, and then Disney has to, you know, cover some of the cost of the figure loss that Hasbro suffered. This isn't like that. This is Play School directly. So Play School is 100% taking a hit for their stupid fucking endeavor with this shit.
Good.
So, you know what? Good on them. You know, you did something good when you started re-releasing those classic, those retro style ones. And then you partnered up with a good company with NECA to make those really nice Eastman and Laird versions. Now, granted, those damn animated ones suck balls all over the place, and NECA should be ashamed of themselves for making that crap. But the Eastman and Laird ones are doing for the old comic, mwah, most of those are chef's kits, and they're amazing. Granted, that Foot Ninja left a little bit the desired with some of the articulation that one, and that is the first time I've seen them drop the ball lately on any of the Eastman and Laird ones have done, but all the other ones have been absolutely outstanding. Yeah. And then you go from those lines that are working to decide, well, let's shake it up and let's make April Neil look like a small turd. And let's push this line where all the turtles and their enemies look retarded. Wow, that's going to sell. That's going to sell just as well as some of that crap from the freaking Rise of the Beast that sold for Hasbro, which are still collecting dust on the shelves. Like, holy shit, like how many hits over the head do these dumb bastards at these toys companies got to take before they realize, you know what, maybe we should stick what works, huh, boss?
Well, they're all mentally challenged. We know this, so.
Well, you know, if they say no, they're gonna get canceled.
If they say no to what?
To making those toys.
Yeah.
Well, if they say yes, they're going to get canceled anyway because they're going to wind up going out of business.
Yeah, but they still won't get a woke mob after them, right?
Right.
Well,
right.
What can the woke mob really do, though? In hindsight, what can they do besides just make a lot of goddamn noise?
Yeah.
Besides that, they can't do anything because they have never adversely affected any company that has refused to take the knee to them.
Right. Well, they're not watching any of that stuff. They're not supporting it anyway, so their voice does mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Losing my mind. More cheap toys, right? 9mm versus the not real TMNT figures. I wouldn't waste my money on them. Yeah, you know, so will I. When they go bankrupt and everybody says it won't happen, but I have faith that it will.
Yeah,
I have faith that it will.
Well, it's not sustainable.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna piss everybody off, but they're not gonna go bankrupt. Me and Chaos Hoy have been through this. I want to be wrong, and if I'm wrong, like totally throw it in my face because I will celebrate too. But I think that they're just gonna keep getting bailed out.
Yeah, I think they will be getting their bailouts. That's for sure.
Well, I think you come to a certain level though, where the bailouts are not going to happen anymore, and they're not going to be saved. Yeah. One of those core companies had gotten bailed out a couple times. They still wound up going out, and they wound up going bankrupt, and they disappeared.
But Disney's part of their propaganda machine. So.
Yes, exactly. And I was going to say, if those cars were electric, they'd be getting bailed out ad nauseum. But they're gasoline, so unless they switch their engines, they won't get bailed out again. But they need Disney.
Yeah.
Well, if the bailing out escalates, right? You know that they have to get bailed out more and more and more and more often.
Yep.
Then maybe.
Well, again, that's why they put a hold on Hollywood, because that's
Yeah.
where they're really hemorrhaging the money. So
They'll sell off a bunch of their properties before they go bankrupt. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna end up getting rid of a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they mentioned
I
it
agree,
already.
Slasher.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but a lot of that stuff isn't worth as much now as it used to
Well,
be.
because they wiped their fucking ass with it, and now it
Yeah.
stinks. Now it has stink all over it.
Yep.
Like if they like, it would never. I don't know. I shouldn't say never, but like if they gave some of their Marvel stuff to Universal, that stuff would like totally be revamped, and it would be great again. In my opinion, and like, yeah, I think that's I agree with Slasher that that's most likely what they'll do before we'll see them go bankrupt. I think it will be. I mean, eventually, probably they'll go under and there will be no more Disney, but I don't think it's going to be in our lifetime.
Well, I'll tell you what, there have definitely been some chinks in the armor, and the first chink in the armor is the Angel Studios and the people backing that being able to wrestle that project, Sound of Freedom, away from Disney. Because Disney didn't want to give it up, but they are hemorrhaging so much money at this point. Mm-hmm. They have to take any kind of gift horse that they can at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were literally like, okay, at least we can get our money back. Fine, fuck it, give it back to them.
Yeah.
On paper, the Snow White movie should make money, but the actress has already tanked it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's such a strange. Like, I don't even understand it. It's like, are they doing this on purpose?
It seems like it.
Yeah, it really does. Like, it's mind-boggling.
Right, because I mean, with her first interview alone, they would have been all over it. Like, shut her the fuck up.
Yeah.
And she's been going on basically on tour on every talk show thing. Yeah. I only saw it in passing. Someone did like a TikTok and they put all of her clips together. It's like, holy shit. She's got a shovel and she's just like, yep, I'm burying this fucker.
Yeah. Who was the last one that created a shit storm like that? And they paid for it at the box office. Was whatever.
Brie Larson.
No. There was one sooner than that. Little Mermaid. She was running her mouth all over the place, calling people a bunch of racists and everything for not accepting her portrayal. And look how bad that movie tanked at the office.
Oh, she was doing that? Okay, I didn't know she was doing that. I thought.
Fish Eyes. Yeah, she was out there doing that too.
Okay, I thought it was just like Disney simps doing that on her behalf. I didn't know she was doing that. But yeah, it's just strange. I don't understand it. It's like it's on purpose. I don't get it.
Well, they hire based on diversity, not IQ.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love how it's not just them. It's not just them that does this though, but like when they get together with these big ideas, right? For already established intellectual properties, they all seem to do the same fucking thing. They're like, let's get as many people who don't give a fuck about the source material and get them all to work on this movie from behind the scenes to on camera. Why do they keep doing this? I have no fucking idea.
Oh, I know.
It's to destroy this
It does seem like it's just to destroy it, Vinnie. You're right.
No, it's they hire people that don't really know the source material or don't care, because then they won't question whatever they're trying to do with it.
The propaganda that they're pushing.
Yeah,
well, I'll tell you.
Look at Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
He opened his mouth big time when they were fucking up the source material.
Yeah, because they wanted more diversity. He's like, that's not the character. Yeah. That's not the story. But over here, that's part of what they're growing up with. That's why they're trying to hire these younger and younger actors and actresses, because they have no attachment to the past. It's just they've been consuming the propaganda shit on their phones, movies, show, all that crap. So they're already like, yeah, more diversity is the thing for us.
Yeah.
Yay, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we already have diversity. You people are trying to make it a sore thumb type of issue. We all have to be staring at it all the time. And now it's chic to say, oh, the Prince Charming, he's a shit character, and the women should be able to save themselves type nonsense.
You get that dumb bitch saying, it's not 1937 anymore. No shit, it's not 1937 anymore. I didn't have my fucking calendar in my face. Fucking
I know.
You know what? It's not like they never had any movies with any kind of diversity in the 70s. I mean, shit, Car Wash had George Carlin, had Richard Pryor, it had freaking Bill Duke. It had a whole bunch of people of diverse backgrounds. Oh, this shit has never happened before in the past. You had the Warriors. There was a huge cast of people from,
Predator
ethnicities. It's never happened in the past before, though, they keep saying. You know why? Because these son of a bitches are scared to look back into the history book and see that maybe they're full of shit because they're not obeying the agenda machine. And of course, you get the same kind of people that are running fucking Twitter over there. Oh, I'm sorry, X marks the spot of stupidity, because now you got that dumb bitch talking about, hey, she's going to start censoring people and shadow banning people that are not following the agenda. They're just laying it right out in front of you. They don't even need to hide it anymore. They don't have to be clever anymore, because guess what? They don't care at this point. They don't care if they're losing money. And Elon Musk, what a fucking cuck for allowing this dumb bitch to be in fucking charge of it.
I told you, he's one of them. He's one of them.
Basically, they don't care if they lose other people's money, because they do whine when it flops. Mm-hmm. But look at Conan the Destroyer. You have Arnold. You have an Asian guy.
Chamberlain.
Yeah, black guy, a black female, Grace Jones. Mm-hmm. You have the princess lady, the Asian wizard guy. That's more diverse than what we see today, and it was done naturally.
Yep.
It's absolutely hilarious. But, companies like that, they just don't get it. And I know Kiasoy was saying that the investors are getting sick of it. The investors should have been sick of this shit years ago.
Yeah.
Disney has been hemorrhaging money for a good many years. This is not new. So the fact that it took the investors this long to actually, maybe we could do something about it, just says that maybe they were dropped on their heads way too many times. Mm-hmm. They might have fell out of the stupid tree, hit every branch on the way down. They got drugged by the stupid gravel truck, probably for 30 or 40 miles. Because these son of bitches took an awful long time to wake up and realize that all their money is going right out of the window because of the agenda machine. Dumbass.
Remember, Bob Chapek, the guy who was going to play 4D chess and fix Disney Star Wars? That guy? He got busted lying to the investors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bob Chapek was just a fucking dildo that they put in there to be like a fall guy. That's basically
Yeah. I'm still waiting for his 4D chess though. I saw a lot of YouTubers talk about that as if it was a huge win.
Those YouTubers are all retarded. Period. Yeah. They just seriously are. They were trying to ride off of this shit. All the drama that's going on in Disney. Who gives a shit? It's all garbage. It's all fucking garbage. I haven't watched a Disney product in I don't know how fucking long. I don't care.
Give a fuck about Disney. Everyone's all so attached to Disney that they're from their childhood. Like I never really cared too much for Disney. I watched the old movies here and there, and not really. I wouldn't say they were my favorites. I was always more into Warner Brothers cartoons than fucking Disney cartoons.
Yep. I loved Disney when I was a kid. I loved the old movies. Snow White, it was actually one of my favorites. And I don't even give a shit about Disney anymore. Like I don't understand people's obsession with it still.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
It's bizarre.
It brings views. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But again,
Papa Cotton. Absolutely. A lot of these people shouldn't talk about Disney so much, but they keep doing it anyway. So now we're laughing at it because I want to see all this shit go down. And if anybody's offended, we're bringing this up right now. You know what you could do. you can hit that little button that says leave, because I really don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because all this shit is just, it's ridiculous. They destroy all of entertainment through and through. These fucking pieces of shit. You know, it's like, I'm happy that a lot of the movie industry went down the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope the strike just keeps going and going forever.
Yeah.
Yes. I like this type of thinking. I am so glad
we'll
you're
continue
coming
this type
around
of
to this.
thinking. We're going to
Tomorrow.
continue a lot of this conversation on tomorrow's stream.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is a good place to wrap it up and get the hell up out of here. Guys, thank you. Everybody has been in the chat, lurking and hanging out and taking part in the conversation as we had some fun talking about the toys we enjoyed. Some of the toys that I tried apparently to break on my damn reviewing table. And some of the figures that from the past the Slasher has brought up and Steve has brought up as well as far as G.I. Joe. Thank you to the lovely Trina for hanging out with us. So, Trina, we are going to put you on the spot and let us know what you got going on.
Well, thanks for having me. This was a fun stream, and next Wednesday we'll be doing the review of Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 1. So that's going to be fun. And otherwise, you can catch me hanging out here on Tommy's channel or with Vinnie. So I hope you all have a great weekend and a good night.
No, thank you for
Trina.
being here. Appreciate it. We're going to throw Vinnie up there.
Hey-o.
Since you got something going on tomorrow. Let the good folks know.
Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna be talking about some stuff. We'll some stuff that we could talk for a few minutes at least on YouTube, and then we'll be headed over to Rumble for the uncensored takes on everything. We'll have all the doom and gloom there because this world has just gone to shit. But yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll cover a little bit of what's going on with the Trump situation too, and how criminal that is, and how insane everything is right now. But because there's some stuff that's going down, and what is it? No, not tomorrow, but next Friday. I think everyone needs to be prepared. Because wow, but yeah, we'll cover all that tomorrow. It'll be interesting to say the least. There's been a lot of crazy shit going on. But in the meantime, yes, if you want to support some really good stuff, we have some awesome comic books as well. City of Venus, Through the Woods, Shadow of the Kraken, all my fantastic artwork. Again, just like this awesome pirate you see here from Shadow of the Kraken. All my stuff is high quality work. I'm working really hard to make sure City of Venus 2 is going to be absolutely epic for all you guys and girls. Extra awesome artwork, amazing story. More pages than the previous issue. I might run another campaign before I launch this one, just a short one. I'm thinking of putting together like a little art book or a sketchbook kind of thing. So if you guys are down for that, just let me know as well. Because I think I'm going to do that.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's still going to be a little while before I could get Venus 2 out there. Again, I'm doing all the work on here. So, but in the meantime, I want to make sure people are still going to be getting some really good stuff from me. Everyone on panel, everyone in chat, much love.
Same to you, Vinnie.
All right, thanks, Vinnie. As always, my co-host with the most, and Trina, and of course, we got another person that stops in pretty regular. We got Slasher McSplitter.
What's good? I didn't do the wrestling stream yesterday. I'll save that till next week. Saturday, we're doing a movie review. We're gonna have a discussion about King of New York with Christopher Walken.
Yeah, man, nice.
That's it.
All right, hey guys, be sure to check that out.
Thanks for letting me chill, Tom.
No, anytime, man, anytime. Of course, everybody's links, of course, in the description below. And last but not least, we got our representation from the north. We got the man himself, we got Steve.
Hello. Nothing going on until, well, it's not next Wednesday, but the one after that. Doing another top 10 with Mara. That's it. Other than that, I'll just, if I'm awake, I'll pop on. Someone wants me on, and yeah.
Cool.
Semi-retired panelist.
Stig, I appreciate you jumping on with us and hanging out, buddy.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Awesome. Hey,
It's
man, anytime.
it's great fun to pop on and mock the toys.
But of course, guys, thank you so much to everybody who's been in chat as well. You all come and hang out and had some fun with us as we talk about some of these collectible pieces that we have, and that's what the show is all about. It's all about the collectible pieces. Maybe at the end of it, we might get into some of the things that we literally can't stand. And why do we get into some of this stuff? Because sometimes, every once in a while, it's a little bit of a, we got to shake people awake and get all the nuts to fall out of the tree because some people are just not getting it. This is why we don't get the type of collectible pieces that we would like to get from some of these companies, because they're too busy sucking on the agenda teeth. And it doesn't just ruin your movies and your TV shows. It ruins everything that you buy, every single thing that you buy, all the way into the food with all the agenda politics that get forced into these people that are making this crap in these freaking farms that are owned by billionaires who are putting shit into your food at this point. It's all interconnected. And every once in a while, you got to bring it out and just like slap somebody across the face because they just don't get it. And to some of those companies, and to one company in particular, as we are getting ready to run out of here, guys, thank you again for being here. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not think, because your silence and your compliance gives them consent. And for one of those companies in particular, this is my message to you as we get up on out of here.